One of the most important things when you're doing a bottle drive, the first time you do the bottle drive, set a date well in advance, because there's a lot of preparations after you've done it a few times, it becomes old hat. But first off, choose a drop-off site. Some beer store or bottle drop-off sites may allow you to set up an area at their location if space allows, or you may need to approach another venue and secure permissions, such as a shopping center parking lot or a member's property, or you can utilize your club if you have space. If I could get the, that first that slide there, thank you. That is the Goderich Kinsman Center. You can see we have a nice big parking lot. Pylons are all set up, and that was tables as well, etc. At the drop-off site, you may need large garbage cans, extra large garbage bags for cans, etc. Tables for sorting, a shelter for members and volunteers to stand under in case of sun or rain, paper, pens, clipboards, wipes, empty beer cases, empty liquor boxes. If you think you might need it or not sure if you need it, bring it anyway, whatever you can think of. One of the most important parts of a bottle drive is to establish a good relationship with the contact person at the beer store or bottle center. You're going to be bringing in an abnormally large amount of returns, and clear lines of communications must be in place in order to keep everyone happy. Since we do our drives on a Saturday, we always arrange with plenty of notice a drop-off time on the Sunday morning, and that's something that you'll establish with your contact person. If you're set up on their property, can you periodically bring in returns throughout the day? And if you can, always make sure to do so when they're not busy with customers. Will they keep track as you bring in the empties? And will they cut a check at the end when everything is done? Get the next slide, please. If your setup site is somewhere other than the return center, you need to arrange transportation of the empties. Pickups and trailers may be all that you require depending on the size of your community or the amount of people you have who drink in your community. And Goderich, it seems, has an abnormally large amount of people who drink. When we hold a drive, we usually fill a 20-foot truck just with bags of cans and another 20-foot truck or bigger with bottles. However you do it, remember to organize as you go. At the other end, it will help keep your contact people happy, as well as you and your fellow kin and volunteers. Something the receivers will insist on for good reason is that the bottles are sorted properly. Take notes when meeting with the contact person as to what their requirements are. For example, clear bottles will be sorted separately from colored bottles, brown and green and clear, etc., by size and so on, because some, the liquor bottles are all different sizes. They want those sorted as well. There's also wine bladders, etc. They're usually bagged up and taken in. 6-packs, 12-packs, 15-packs, 2-4s, 28-packs. If you're transporting by truck, make sure to pack the truck so that you can keep track easily and quickly. Lucky for us, past DG Mike Austin is usually the guy up in the truck doing all of that, and he does a bang-up job of organizing it as it goes into the truck. So when you're at the return site, you're offloading in an orderly fashion. I'm not sure if at the return center, if they have a chart that they use, or if they just do it like us, where they write it on paper. Finally, try to ensure with your contact that they can supply you with empty cases. It's in their best interest to do so, and given lots of notice, they can usually cover that area. Don't forget to speak to the LCBO well in advance as well in order to secure plenty of liquor boxes. I'm all out of order here. All hands on deck is a great way to spread out the work and a perfect opportunity to bring prospective members in, see how much fun it is to be kin. Oh, hi. Don't underestimate the response you can get from a well-informed public. Promotion on social media is one of the keys to ensure a great turnout. Promotion and advertising. When your club has set a date, promote, promote, promote. Can't say this enough times. Talk it up on social media. Take it to ad in your local paper's community calendar, local retail bulletin boards, local cable and radio calendars. Get the word out and keep the public aware. And that means even up on Facebook, for example, posting it on a regular basis, and then a reminder just prior to the event within a day or two to remind people, okay, this Saturday, bottle drive, don't forget, bring all your empties in. And while you're at it, you can promote your clubs and kin, tell your friends, tell your family, and this is also a good opportunity to invite some prospective members to come out and see how much fun it is to be involved in serving your community's greatest needs. As you can see by our poster here, our bottle drive also incorporates a food drive. It's a great way to promote your club's dedication to serving your community, and offering pickup opportunities for the public will also increase your returns. We've had 4 of them now, and I believe that every single time we've loaded 2 trucks right to the brim. It's been a fantastic way to raise funds. The public has been very happy about it. What we do is we have a drive-through system where they come to the club. We have a big parking lot. We have pylons set up. They drive through. They don't even have to get out of their car. They pop the trunk from inside or whatever, and we unload for them. They don't have to touch anything. We have people at the table sorting everything. And by 2 o'clock, when the trucks are all full and the drive is over, it's been lots of fun. It's been a good day, and the public is happy. We have signs everywhere promoting kin, and that's all I really have to say at this time.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, next we have St. Mary's Kinsman, Chris.
He's coming, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Okay, so everybody in the room wants to see the baby.
Oh, hold on, he's sleeping. I'll bring the camera in.
Oh, he is so cute.
Thank God he looks like you.
He's growing like a weed. He's almost 20 pounds.
Wow. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, how's everybody this morning? Good, awesome.
You're good.
Oh, am I muted?
Nope.
No, you're good.
No, okay. Yeah, you're all muted. I see. Okay. Yeah, so I was brought on to talk about our pulled pork drive-through dinner. We accompanied with local brewery Broken Rail, and they were our major partners, as well as Strode's Catering. So we got a local catering company as well. So Brian Witteveen is from St. Mary's and is brick and mortars in Cambridge, I believe. No,
it's Brantford.
Brantford. Okay, there we go. Corrected. Fact checker over here. So he has trailers that he can pull behind his truck that and he can just set up and ready to go. The major key point for this is our website. So we pay for a website yearly outside of the Kinsman umbrella website. I'm not even sure how much that is. But if you want to know, just email me and I'll find out from our treasurer. And basically, we set up ticket sales online, and we advertise in the local newspaper like once, and then they did a story on it as well. And then we did the drive-through pulled pork thing outdoors, and we were all wearing masks and socially distancing and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so it was a success just because of our online presence, our online website. And then we also did advertising on Facebook, paid advertising. So that helped. to get the word out. And we didn't do cash sales because we weren't allowed to handle money. So, and we didn't order any more additional food. You had to purchase it ahead of time. So basically, he pulled up, opened up the door, he was ready to go. And I think we made, so our expenses were the catering, which was about, I think $2,800. No, that was the profit. So profit was almost $3,000. The ticket sales generated about $7,000, and then so our only expenses were advertising, catering, and then the brewery because they sold beer as well with our meals. So that was kind of another thing that we did too.
Well, it wasn't really your expense.
Yeah, we paid them. Yeah. So anyway, so that was about $1,000. So profit was about $2,800, and that was $2,800 we didn't have before because this was a brand new project, which really stemmed from the success of our fruit sale, which we put online this year as well, or last year. So because of the success of the fruit sale, the ordering online, and all that fun stuff, we actually generated a new project based on the success of the sales online. So that's pretty much all I have. So I didn't have any slideshow or fancy pictures or anything. But thank you very much for having me today to speak, and I hope you all learned something.
All right, thanks, Chris. All right, next we have St. Thomas Kinsman on the fireworks. Sean?
Right, left.
It's gonna fall off of here. So every year, St. Thomas Kinsman, we have a fireworks sale. For years, we just rent a 53-foot trailer. We have a deal with K&H Fireworks where we order a crap ton of things that go boom, stock the shelves all up, promote it to the community. And I put that on silent. So, right? So. Yeah, throw it out of the room. So, essentially, don't be too worried about other competing organizations out there. Bob's Fireworks was one in St. Thomas that tried to compete against us, and we basically ran them out of town. Kaboom, in the past couple of years, they got a nice little trailer that they put in front of Canadian Tire because they're partnered with them, and we outsell them every single year. We were a little bit worried with COVID when it came up that, okay, well, how are we going to sell fireworks with people coming into the trailer? We're not allowed to do that. We quickly shifted gears and offered online sales and porch drop off or come and pick it up. We did, for our Victoria Day sale, we did $12,705.80, which was our worst sale ever. Thanks COVID. But we followed that up on Canada Day with 13,000, sorry, I'm wrong there. Where'd that go? 13,119, which the two sales combined gave us our second best sales year to date. Okay, I got the information yesterday. I asked for it almost a month ago. I believe that's profit. Typically, I think we sell somewhere in the neighborhood of $80,000 worth of fireworks. But man hours were roughly for Victoria Day. We budgeted 155 hours and we amassed 6 because nobody was in the trailer dealing with customers. For Canada Day. If I'm correct in reading the information I got yesterday, our profit for the year was $25,825, which was our second best sale to date for the year. And that's having the worst Victoria Day sale ever and the best Canada Day sale ever. Man hours, 155 were budgeted for Victoria Day. We actually amassed 6. For Canada Day, we budgeted 164 and actually put in 150. Again, the Victoria Day was our worst sale by $6,000. Canada Day, the best sale by $10,000. Online sales introduced was as a pandemic initiative response, quickly established itself as a great venue to sell, despite the PayPal fees significantly higher than all other revenue sources, whether cash, or debit, credit. It was PayPal fees were higher than that combined. So if there's another way of doing it other than PayPal, go with that. Essentially, with the fireworks sale, because we can't have people come in and go, hey, Tracy, you know, we'd like to sell you some things that go boom. And you go, what do you got? And it's like, oh, we got this that does this, and we got this that does that. We can't do that. So it was pretty easy for us to transition with the pandemic, because for the past couple of years, we actually have YouTube videos of all the fireworks and what they do that we'd show on tablets in the trailer, because we don't want to sell you a firework that doesn't meet what you want it to do. So we just put those online and let people click and add to cart, and we'd assemble the orders and they'd come and pick them up. So that's pretty much how the fireworks trailer works. It's been working for us for years, and right before COVID hit, we actually ended up purchasing the 53-foot trailer that we put the fireworks in and sell out of every year. Lori has a question.
I have a question about how far in advance did you have to have people order to be picked up on the
24 hours.
24 hours?
Yep. We kept inventory stocks as to what was available, as best we could. Oh, sorry. Lori's question is, how far in advance do we require notice to do the online sales? Typically, we had a 24-hour turnaround where you ordered the day before, you can pick it up the next day. Or we even established we could deliver on occasion, but we're getting away from that aspect of it, of people, you can come pick it up yourself. Yeah, the YouTube videos, it made it remarkably easy to get the sales coming in online, despite the higher costs. Next year, courtesy of the pandemic and all the slow boats coming from China and everywhere else, we're looking at probably a 15% markup on fireworks sales across the board. Having said that, as a sale for clubs, it's a great avenue. Our upfront costs are practically nothing aside from renting the trailer, which we don't have to do anymore because we bought it. K&H has a great program for not-for-profits that basically you order your fireworks, they say, here, have it all, or what they have in stock to give you. You don't pay anything right off the hop. You settle it when you're done. For some clubs, if you need debit machines, they provide those too. But yeah, with competition, we rode Bob's fireworks out of town. He's never come back to sell fireworks in St. Thomas, because he's just, the community rallies around when they find out, I'd rather give you $20 that I'm going to see in a splash pad or donations to Caring Cupboard than into Bob's fireworks pockets. That's basically how that breaks down. And even right down to Kaboom Fireworks and their pretty blue trailer in front of Canadian Tire. See a few people there, but most of them are coming to town to see St. Thomas Kinsman, and they look for us every year. We did move trailer locations once, which people was like, why are you over here now? But it ended up working great. In relation to fundraising projects that work great, I wanted to bring up our Easter egg hunt, which typically you wouldn't figure that you could make money giving away chocolate. I think we had 18-pound, or not more, 16 boxes, I think they're 10-pound boxes of chocolate that we gave to kids throughout the community. Throughout the pandemic, we organized a drive up and drop them off on their porch. Again, utilizing online Facebook, message us, let us know how many kids you have, we'll drop a bag at your door. Somehow or other, the past couple of years, because we've gone out and gotten sponsors, Elgin Chrysler joined on, they donate some money. Brad Bedford and I, we go around to a couple community sponsors, and people kick in $100, $1,000, and we ended up making $8,000 off of sponsorship, or 8,000. No, 8,000 was what we got in after expenses. I think we turned a $3,000 profit. But yeah, we made money giving away chocolate. So, never shy away from the idea of getting people to sponsor stuff. That used to be a project that we do that would just annually cost us money. And now it makes us money that we can give back. But that's pretty much all I have for that. Does anybody have any questions? K&H. The name of the fireworks company that we deal with is K&H. Not KN, K-and. And I believe they're based out of Windsor. Any other questions? Perfect. Who called? Lots of people call. Oh, I can tell you who called. My phone actually told me it was my wife, so she knows that I'm here, so she either doesn't like my money or yeah. No questions on that. All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
I gotta put this back down.
Okay, so next we have Flamborough Kin, and Kim is going to speak to that.
Governors Chrissy and Dave, guests and fellow kin, welcome back to the Beach FLC. Let's get back to serving the community's greatest needs. So we're here to talk about a toilet. Someone told me a while ago, I believe it was Paul Durden, that they used to have the golden pooper, and they would drop it off on people's lawns and then charge them to take it away. Had to be a kin member, you can't just drop it on a stranger's lawn. So, well, you could, but I don't know how well it would go over. So we got a toilet and we painted it bright kin red, and we filled the tank with expanding foam and all sorts of red and white flowers, and we took it to Paul Durden's house and dropped it off with a little letter that says, your tag, you're it. $20 will have us remove your new lawn ornament. For an additional 20, we'll take you off the bring it back list, and that way you wouldn't be caught. And in brackets it says this year, so we can always take it back next year. And for an additional 10, you get to tell me who to take it to next. So in 3 months, while everyone was working and doing whatever else we had to do over the summer, we made over $1,000 taking it to kin members. And we have some pictures. I don't know if Marcus has them. There's Governors Chrissy and Dave. They got the toilet. And we got smart. We took it to CLS, and I sort of dropped it right in the middle and said, here's your notice, you've been tagged. Here's your notice, you've been tagged. And I got a lot of people. And the next slide, we have a whole bunch. There's Dean. You can't really see the toilet very well. They're sitting on it. But what we did is we put it on top of a dolly, and my husband screwed it in. So we just drive it up onto our pickup truck and pull it off and there you go. There's Sean. And that little envelope, when we drop it at your doorstep, we put it in your mailbox. It just says tag you're it, and it has all the instructions. And everyone at Flamborough is sort of going to be taking turns picking it up. We've gone to St. Mary's, St. Thomas, we've gone to Stony Creek, and in work hours, I think we put in 7 days in total, and that was over $1,000. It was that quick. Having the pandemic made it really difficult to do a lot of. We have some more slides if you want to put them up. There's hard to come up with ideas for fundraising because typically Flamborough does a breakfast with Santa, and we can't do it because we can't have anybody come in. So we did it virtually, and we're doing it again this year. And we advertise Facebook and everywhere else we could think of. People email, and I'm sneaky and I write back to them and I say, okay, I need your kid's name, favorite color, are they a cheerleader, they play soccer, whatever. And then Dave Winger, our Santa, is brilliant. And he's like, hi, Destiny, so you're in cheerleading, I see. And the kids really connected to that. My 7-year-old granddaughter was just amazed. And she asked him questions that he already had the answer to because I was texting at the same time. But it's great because the kids really connected. And then we took that idea because the Guelph Cadets were wondering, what can you do during a pandemic? And I said, well, we do this, and you can do a bedtime story with Santa, which is what they're doing, and they're having a good response to it. And yes, Kelly? Thank you. How long did it take to raise the 7 days? Well, work hours, it took 7 days, but it actually took 3 months over the summer. But the actual hours that we put into it, Kelly asked how long it took us to raise that money. Granted, I abused CLS and I sort of got everybody there, but that was that was a little perk.
That was the fun part.
That was the fun part, and that's where those pictures were taken. But yeah, the breakfast with Santa, it's 15 minutes for $15. And if you have 6 kids, sit them all around the computer. It's a Zoom meeting or 1-on-1 or 6-on-1 with Santa. We get all the information. Bedtime story with Santa is the same idea. You can have as many people as you want. Charge them $5, and they can sit there and hear a bedtime story with Santa. It's personalized. It's 1-on-1, and people seem to really went with it because they can't really go to the malls anymore, especially last year. Couldn't go to the mall to see Santa. So I think pandemic or no, there's always ways to make money. And if you tell people we're giving half to CF or half to this and half to that, they're really eager to donate. They really are. So that's all I have to say on that. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
So Kim, so for everyone, when Kim was at my place for CLS, she dropped off the toilet for us, and I forgot to pay her, so now it's $1,050.
And 50, thank you, yay! Oh, my mask.
Thanks, Kim. All right, next we have Walkerton Cadets. Yes, I know it's heavy. That's why I asked you to move it. All right. So I have a slideshow. There we go. So one of the things, the Walkerton Cadets over our last kin year managed to donate over $14,000 back to our community. A large portion of that fund was made through food sale fundraisers. And they go over really well because, like it says, we all got to eat. So next slide. And you can sell pretty much anything. As Chris mentioned earlier, the St. Mary's Kinsmen are selling fruit right now. We've seen the post about Krispy Kreme donuts. Grimsby Cadets are doing wine. Some of our most successful fundraisers, Elmira Poultry, is chicken sales. Super easy to sell. The stuff sells itself. We've made almost $7,000, and we've only sold it twice in the past year. You can also contact different companies that don't already have a fundraising program. Greenock Packers was a new butcher shop that opened in our area, and we partnered with them to help get their name out there, and they came up with a fundraising program for us. So it was a very much mutual service thing. So next slide. Decide what you're going to sell and when you're going to sell. The benefit of selling food, it's consumable. So just because minor hockey is going to sell something in October because they do it every year doesn't mean that you can't sell the same product again in January, because by then people will have eaten it and they'll be ready for more. So when it comes to selling, 2 weeks is a good time frame. You don't want to leave it too much longer than that. That gives people time to really look things over, talk it over, work it into their budget, and you don't run into seller's exhaustion, where you get tired of promoting it and tired of talking about it, and I just want this to be done so I can get it out of my house. So chairing a project like this, fairly straightforward. You're the primary contact with the vendor. You'll be setting things up, collecting the orders and that, but it really is one of the easiest projects to chair because there are not very many moving parts. So knowing where the money is going, sometimes that can be a motivating factor. We find in Walkerton that if we're supporting a large community project, then we get a lot more community buy-in from people that might not necessarily, it's the cause that gets their attention, not necessarily the food. The other thing to consider, since quite often we sell food like this to family and friends, it makes a really easy fundraiser for your general account. As long as you are clear when you're promoting the project that the money is going to support your club, that is perfectly valid. It's a perfectly valid way to make money for your general account to subsidize your dues and cover your other costs. Next, please. Logistics. Figure out how you're going to handle the money. What we have found is the easiest way to do it is every member collects all the money for their own orders, and then when you close your orders, you submit your order form to the project chair, and the money goes directly to the treasurer. You don't want, it's a pain to have a whole bunch of different checks and the treasurer's pulling all this stuff in from all these different directions. They're a volunteer, they've got enough going on. It just keeps it really clean and simple and really easy to reconcile the books at the end of it as well. Project chair can say, I got an order form from this person with $1,500 in sales. Yep, I got a check from them for $1,500. We're good. It's really easy to balance things out. So your closing date, you're going to have 3 different dates. Your closing date is the last date for people to place their orders. And quite often what you may have to do with your vendor is you work backwards to get these dates. So you figure out when you want the product delivered. They'll tell you when you're going to order them. And then a couple days before that order date is what your closing date for sales is going to be. So your project chair and your treasurer have time to receive the order forms, check the addition, make sure all the numbers add up, everything balances, and then you move it forward from there. So the other thing that you want to consider is your delivery location. Depending on the product that you're selling, you may need a lot of room to work with on delivery day. When we have an Elmira poultry chicken order, we usually have at least 3 skids of chicken come in. There are hundreds of white boxes everywhere. Yeah, they all look the same. You have to look at the labels. What we'll often do if you have the space, if a member of the public orders 12 boxes or something like that, instead of a member having to take 40 boxes in their vehicle and deliver it, you can have people come in and pick them up. If you're going to do that, make sure that you take that into account with your delivery location so that you have the availability to have the traffic flow, that you aren't tripping over each other. Next slide, please. So, launching and promotion. Obviously, make sure your members have what they need before you start promoting it. Social media is, as has been said already, the best and cheapest way to get things promoted. You're going to have at least 3 posts. You're going to have your launch post. Make sure it has all the information that you need. Make sure that all of your members share it. Share it to the District 1 Facebook group, because I don't care where you are, chances are I'm still going to buy stuff from you. So, but I can't do that if I don't know about it. We all like to support fellow kin, so don't feel that you're limited to just your community. Social media allows for the broader reach. Take advantage of that. So you've got your launch post. You're going to have a reminder post about halfway through your selling period, and then have a last call post about 2 days before the end of the campaign. Depending on the product, the Goderich Canettes have a really good one going on right now. They're selling maple syrup products on behalf of the Greater London Kinsman Sugar Bush. So they've got posts coming out every day or every other day talking about how you can use some of the different products. So depending on what you have going out, that's something that you can keep in mind as well. Marcus. Yep. Marcus just mentioned that on your public Facebook page, those posts can be pre-scheduled. So you can line them up and schedule when you want them to go out. So you don't have to remember on this date, oh, I have to post this one. You have them already set up and they're good to go. You don't have to babysit it anymore. So when you're wrapping it up, stick to your closing date. If members say, oh, I've got someone, they're going to get back to me tomorrow. Sorry, today's the closing date. We've got deadlines to meet. There are people counting on us. Everybody else got their order in on time. This is the closing date. So you're going to consolidate your orders. If you're using a pre-existing fundraising program, the vendor will have the form for you to use, but it's also easy to do up a quick Excel spreadsheet, a few easy formulas, and they check the math, you've got the addition, everything's consolidated for you. And that's when your project chair is going to confirm with the treasurer that the money matches. So going to confirm your delivery date. Once it's confirmed, I know we've had projects where once the order comes in, it's like, well, we'll schedule the delivery date when we know how much stuff you're ordering. Because again, the difference between delivering 1 skid and delivering 3 skids can be whether they're going to have product available. When we did our Southampton Oil fundraiser, we sent in the orders and he said, okay, it's going to take me 3 days to bottle this, so I'll talk to you on Thursday. Because he prepared it as specifically for the order. It wasn't stuff that he was pulling off the shelves. So that's something that you're going to work out with your vendors. As soon as you have that delivery date confirmed, tell everybody who needs to know. Next, biggest thing on delivery day, have a plan. Because it's going to be chaos. It's your job to try to make it controlled chaos. So, for example, with our mile poultry, there are, as I said, hundreds of white boxes arriving. We have designated areas as they come off the truck. The sausages go there, and the Parmesan chicken goes there, and the chicken boobs go there, and everything is lined up. And so as they come off the... You all know what I mean. And that is what goes on the sign. So, yeah. So when, and the other thing that we do is as we're stacking the boxes, they're only 10 boxes high. So it's very easy. We've got 54 boxes, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, check. They're done. Because before anyone picks their order and walks away with anything, the project chair has to confirm that what was ordered matches the packing list, matches what you have sitting on the ground in front of you. So don't rush that. Make sure you've got it, because once stuff starts going out the door, you can't pull it back and verify anything. So know how much space you have to work with. If you're having small products coming in, it can be sorted in somebody's rec room. Larger products, you want a bit more warehouse space. Use your high school volunteers if you've got big stuff coming in. I know the Shelburne Canettes do flower orders. St. Mary's Canettes are doing flower orders. This is the time when the truck comes in, you've got your high school volunteers helping to unload stuff. Don't forget to sign for their volunteer hours. And if people are there to pick up orders, keep 1 or 2 of them around to help load vehicles, because that gets people out the door much quicker as well. Never hurts to have a furniture moving dolly there to make life a little easier as well. And the last slide. So your final steps, do a project report. Write everything down. This is where you're going to include your expenses, which is usually pretty straightforward. This is how much money we had coming in. This is what the check was to the vendor. Unless you're paying to advertise somewhere, or if you need to rent a space, those would be the only other expenses that you might have, but it's really, really straightforward. Track your service hours. So anything related to your club's outreach into the community is considered service hours. So even though it's a fundraising project, you're still reaching out into the community, you're promoting on your public social media pages, it's outreach counted as service hours. So if you have volunteers there, their time counts as well. That also includes any time that the project chair spent communicating with the vendor, how much time they spent consolidating the orders, and preparing the final report. It's time that your communication director spent creating your social media posts for the project. So 4 posts, as you can see in the next line, you're going to do a thank you post to everyone as well. So 4 posts, 15 minutes per post, that's at least an hour that one of the members of your club spent working on this project. And of course, as I mentioned, the time spent on delivery day. And allocation of funds. Finally, if money from this project went into your service account, you are still allowed to transfer a portion of that to your general account as an admin fee. Your club may specify something in your house rules. If they don't, then your club can vote on how much of that money you want to transfer to your general account. So, and that's everything. Okay. Are there questions?
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, Leanne Summers, or we're going to do them all at the end?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll just do questions at the end.
All right, fair
We
enough.
have one more presenter, so we'll do questions at the end.
So don't go away is what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay. All right. The microphone is yours.
Okay, last but not least is Tilbury Kinsman. So Tim,
Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk about our beer for a year that we started about 5 years ago. So this kind of ties in with Dan's fundraiser. He gets the empties from the proceeds of the beer for a year. So I came up with this idea about 5 or 6 years ago, and we put it into place. It is a lottery license, so you'll have to go to your municipality and get the proper paperwork done. It is a raffle license. So the funds are only available through your lottery account for certain donations. The way we run it, our very first one, we did strictly one prize, and it was a case of beer a week for 52 weeks, and the total was $1,880. Since then, we've added a couple other prizes to it. So we found that $10 a ticket is not unreasonable. People will pay that. We like to keep our ticket sales to where they're only pulling one bill out of their wallet. It's a lot easier, say, than having a $25 ticket or something like that. So we found that $10 was reasonable. We do up 500 tickets, and the revenue generated from that is about $3,000. So it's a very easy event to do once you get your paperwork done. You have to be very diligent with it, with your lottery license for your club. And again, the donations are strictly regulated through AGCO. So bearing in mind that you can't use this for your own club. We have one going on right now. When we first started it, our draw date has always been just after Christmas. People have been buying them for stocking stuffers. So we don't really have an issue in selling the 500 tickets. So again, that brings in $5,000, and the cost to run the event is about $2,000. So that'll leave you about $3,000 in your lottery account. It's taken off across the country. I've seen it out west and several clubs in District 1. They call it different things: cheer for a year, beer for a year, whatever you want to call it. People like to buy their booze tickets. So if you're thinking about doing it and you need some help, you can certainly get a hold of me. But if there's not one going on in your area, consider doing it. And again, like Karen said, you can do selling right off your computer. It's pretty easy. There's a lot of local posts on Facebook, certain town groups that you can post on. I think I sold 60 or 70 of them in the last draw about 6 months ago, just off of these different shop local things. So that's what I have for the beer for a year. Reach out to me if you want any more information on it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, so now I know we have some questions. Leanne Summers.
Hi, my question is for Dan. So we tried doing a bottle drive this past summer. It was a bit of a bust. And so I was just curious, how much time do you give before the event, like for advertising? Like how many days or weeks or whatever do you do prior to the bottle sale?
We're usually going about a month, maybe even a little bit more, a little bit longer than that. Timing is also very important, Leanne. We'll do one in September. That hits all the summer drinking. We'll do one after Christmas, obviously in January, to pick up all the Christmas stuff. May 2-4 in that area too. That's a big part for us. So like I said, lots of notice, a month, and timing.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. God, do I look like that? Is that how I look?
So if anybody has any questions, please raise your hand in the chat. Or just raise your hand.
We got Carol here.
I just wanted to ask about the Elmira chicken. What do you do in contention of the fact that if somebody's not available on delivery date for storage of all that perishable food, does that become a problem?
No, she's in the hallway. Did you hear that, Karen? He did. Repeat the question, please. You want to come up and use the mic?
Come up here.
No, I did not hear the question because no one was at the microphone.
Hang on. Sorry, here I come. I just had a question regarding the Elmira food fundraiser. In the day of delivery, what contentious points do you have in regards to if somebody's not available for delivery that day for storing the product? Does that become an issue?
Typically what we do is, that's one of the reasons why we give so much notice for when the delivery date is. If someone says that they're not available, we just say, okay, where would you like it? Like, what are your arrangements? Because if that's the delivery date, we always have an approximate delivery date at a time. And as we get closer, people know they need to have this much room in their freezer. And so then once we state what the delivery date is, then it's usually up to the buyer and possibly the member that they ordered from to figure out what their arrangement should be.
All right, terrific. Thank you. Life member Elaine Couch.
And my question is for Sean. Sean, do you ever have any fireworks left over, and what arrangements do you have with the vendor for that?
I'm actually glad that you brought that up. I meant to incorporate that into my spiel. The beauty part with the deal with K&H is whatever you have left, they come back and take it away and you don't pay for it.
Awesome. Okay,
so
perfect.
You're not stuck
Thank you.
with any inventory at the end of the year whatsoever.
Okay, last call for any questions?
I have one more for Sean.
Okay, hang on.
Sorry.
He's coming, hang on.
I tried to unmute really fast, but it didn't work.
Okay.
So I know you've been doing it for years. I live in the Palmerston. We're a fairly small community. So I was curious, when you first started, how did you know whether or not you'd have a good response? Like, did you just do it and hope for the best, or did you kind of put some feelers out there to find out whether or not this would be a fundraiser that would be good for your community?
Okay, well, with that point, I think I definitely need to get rid of the glasses because I'm obviously looking older than I am. This project actually predates, I think, just about every member that's still in our club. I would think if I was going to be starting it out right now, that if it was a project that we were looking at putting in place this year or next, well, probably next because there's no more things that go boom this year, that I would definitely be advertising the crap out of it. That especially in small towns. Small towns have a huge buy-in to service clubs helping their community. That, you know, put it on social media, put up some signs. I know when we get the trailer out, as soon as it's delivered, we have a line of Coroplast signs, lawn signs that we put out there to get your fireworks from us. We also make a point that pretty much all the dollars that raised go back into the community, and make sure that you tell the people that, because it's basically them handing money back over to their community. Just they get the joys of making things go boom. But yeah, online, Facebook, social media, word of mouth. You know, it's pretty much how you would promote any project. You know, if you can, St. Thomas, we tied in with the city that one year they weren't actually going to fund the fireworks for Canada Day, that there weren't going to be fireworks. So St. Thomas Kinsman stepped up and said, "Oh yes, you are, and we'll pay for it." And since then, we've had a great relationship with the city. On Canada Day, we make a crap ton of money when we're allowed to have fireworks at the park by controlling the gate and getting donations basically through road tolls. As people come in, they donate money to us. We have a food garden and beer gardens on site as well. So the money that we raise from the fireworks display helped us, or sale helped us funnel money to accommodate that. So pretty much in St. Thomas, if you hear fireworks, it's usually connected to St. Thomas Kinsman. Yeah, and making things go boom is great.
Thank you, Sean.